All right, today we're diving into a type of person you've definitely met. You know, the one who says the least but somehow seems to know the most. We're talking about the incredible power of the silent observer. Let's just kick things off with a quote that really sets the stage. The quietest person in the room is often the most dangerous, intellectually. It's a pretty provocative idea, isn't it? It completely challenges our assumptions and makes us look at the dynamics of a room in a whole new way. You know, it's so easy to mistake silence for weakness or shyness. That's kind of our default setting. But what if we've got it completely backward? What if that silence is actually a sign of some serious, calculated strength? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into. Okay, so let's get right to it and do what we do best here. Let's deconstruct the stereotype of the silent observer. This contrast right here, it's everything. On one side, you've got the common perception. We see someone who's quiet and our brain is so quick to label them shy, weak, passive. But the reality, it's a mind in constant motion. They're not being passive, they are observing. They're not weak, they are analyzing. And they're not just shy, they are actively, carefully regulating their every response. So, how do they pull it off? Let's open up the mental toolkit that turns this person into a true analyst in disguise. First step is observation. And listen, this isn't just zoning out. We're talking about an active data gathering mission. While everyone else is busy talking, just filling the air with noise, the silent observer is collecting data. They're watching body language, listening to tone, and this is key, picking up on what's not being said. It's a state of super high awareness, literally the opposite of being passive. But, you know, gathering all that data doesn't mean much if you can't process it clearly. And that brings us to the next tool, emotional regulation. This is the ability to stay cool and manage your responses. And it's a superpower, really, because it allows for a totally clear, unbiased analysis. When you're not getting clouded by anger or fear or your own ego, you can see things for what they really are. This is what that clear-headed analysis actually looks like when it's happening. It's like having this amazing mental filter. All the chaotic, emotional stuff coming from the outside world, it gets processed and organized into clean, understandable data. This shift in perspective is absolutely crucial, and it leads right into our next skill. And this skill is called low personalization. It's basically the art of detachment. When someone throws an insult or tries to get a rise out of them, the silent observer doesn't take it personally. Nope. Instead, they analyze it. They're asking, why'd they say that? What's their real motive here? And in that moment, the insult stops being about them and becomes this fascinating piece of data about the person who said it. Okay, so we've got these incredible skills: observation, regulation, low personalization. But what's powering it all? What's the central processor running this whole system? I mean, what allows someone to override that really basic, very human instinct to just react? Well, the answer is this amazing cognitive function called inhibitory control. The best way to think of it is like a mental muscle. It's what stops you from lashing out, from getting defensive, or from jumping to conclusions. It's the power to just pause, override that first impulse, and stay focused on the real goal: observing and analyzing. Now, this is an incredibly powerful ability, for sure, but it's really important to understand where it can sometimes come from. And that brings us to a more complex and sometimes darker origin story. Because a strength this profound, this kind of incredible self-control, sometimes it's forged in the fire of real hardship. For some people, these highly developed observational skills aren't just a personality trait. They're a protective mechanism. They can actually develop in response to past trauma or from growing up in a difficult, unpredictable environment. In situations like that, silence becomes a strategy for safety. You learn to watch, to analyze, to predict threats before they even happen. And this creates a state of defensive hyper-awareness, a powerful skill born from the simple need to survive. Okay, let's bring it all home. It's time to put all the pieces together in our final analysis. It really all comes down to a three-step process. Step 1, observe. You're just gathering that raw, unfiltered data. Step 2, regulate. You stay calm, you process it all without bias. And then step 3, control. You use that inhibitory muscle to shut down that first impulse. And what do you get? A truly formidable analytical mind. So yeah, never ever mistake calm for passivity. That quiet person in the room is actively processing everything. They're seeing the whole chessboard while everyone else is just staring at their next move.
Which leaves us with one last thing to think about. The next time you're in a meeting, a debate, or just a conversation, look for the quietest person and ask yourself, now who holds the real power in this room?